Hello there. Weather across the UK has certainly been testing our patience of late. We are heading for the fourth consecutive weekend where an area of low pressure will dominate the weather story, bringing us some wet and windy weather. But every cloud has a silver lining, and next weekend I can offer you something a little more promising, settled and summer-like. But at the moment it's all about Storm Antoni, which is moving its way across Northern Ireland, bringing a heavy spell of rain during the early hours of Saturday morning. And as that rain continues to drive its way steadily eastwards, the winds will strengthen as well. So we're widely likely to see 20 to 40 millimetres, maybe more for Northern Ireland for a time. And then the winds gusting 50 to 65 miles an hour along west-facing coasts of Wales and southwest England. Very unusual, really, for this time of year. The rain drives its way quickly eastwards, and then into the afternoon, circulating around that low, we will see a rash of sharp, possibly thundery downpours. From Wednesday onwards, we are likely to see some drier, settled and more summer-like weather. There's still an uncertainty how long it's likely to last, but for next week, showers or longer spells of rain to begin with, but as the high pressure builds, certainly things will settle down and warm up for many.
Our headlines today: the summer washout continues with warnings of road closures and flying debris as Storm Antoni expected to bring more heavy rain across the UK.
So Storm Antoni will bring us some very strong winds with some gales this morning, particularly towards southwestern areas. Some heavy rain for many of us as well, but that's all going to ease off later this afternoon.
So you've got a sense maybe already of what the weather's like, maybe just by looking out the window. That's always a good marker, isn't it? A lot of people are going to be doing that today.
Yeah, it's a good start, isn't it? Yeah, it wasn't very nice this morning, was it? On the way from the car park this morning, dark, pretty wet as well. And yes, it's all about Storm Antoni, which is bringing us some heavy rain already. And it's through this morning that we'll see the strongest of the winds, the heaviest of the rain. Gradually, that's going to ease off and there'll be some sharp showers later on. It's not looking too good at the moment on the Llyn Peninsula near Pwllheli there. Not so good for many of us, really. You'd be forgiven for thinking that it's autumn, not August. Fourth weekend in a row, an area of low pressure moving in. So
make it stop.
I'll try. Maybe something next week, a little bit more settled, which I'll bring you some details on in just a moment. But yes, it is a very wet start to the day. We've got some strong winds developing and some sharp showers moving their way in later on this afternoon.
There's a lot of bad weather outside. Simon's going to tell us exactly what's happening. The first storm announced, Storm Antoni, by the Met Office.
Yeah, that's right. The storm season runs from the 1st of September to the 31st of August. And yeah, this is the first named storm. It was a very quiet autumn and winter. And now we've got into August. Well, you'd think that it might be autumn out there at the moment.
Shall we have a look outside the round window this morning?
There will only be a certain part of our audience who will get that. You know?
And there it is, Simon. I think pretty much anyone who's watching us now who's looked outside, it's a bit like that, right?
I've checked the calendar. It's definitely August and not November, because that's what it looks like out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, now with the first named storm by the Met Office.
First named storm. Yeah, we waited all autumn and winter, even the spring, no named storm. Today, yeah, the first named storm moving its way in. Yes, good morning, everybody. It's a rather wet start to the day for many of us, but some early morning joggers here in Exmouth. Now, it's in Exmouth and parts of Devon today where the winds will really start to pick up, and that's where we're going to see some of the strongest winds today in parts of Devon, southwest Wales. There's an amber warning from the Met Office. That's the second highest warning. There could be some potentially damaging and disruptive winds, gusts of 50 to 70 miles an hour, particularly around those coastal areas.
Now, look, big puddles. So we need big wellies and big macs, I think, just for today at least. Yeah,
not really the scene you want to look at for a British summer weekend, is it? Not good at all. Yeah, lots of events going on probably today, fairs, sporting events, and, well, the weather for the fourth weekend in a row isn't looking particularly nice. Yeah, that was the scene this morning, just a bit earlier on in Leicestershire. A very similar scene also in Devon at the moment. That's in Topsham. And the winds are starting to pick up here as well. This is all because of Storm Antoni, which has moved its way through this morning. And it's going to give us stronger winds. Now,
it will be wet, I think it's fair to say.
It is wet.
It is wet. We've been looking outside the windows here in Salford, and on top of being wet, it's been raining quite a bit. It's just so gloomy.
Yeah, but you know what? Someone's going to lift that gloom for us.
Is it in?
I say that because I have such faith in you, Simon, and then I see what you're bringing.
And I start with this lovely picture. don't I?
Well, there are flowers, colourful flowers somewhere in the background.
There are some there, aren't there?
Yeah.
And they'll be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they will be
the
happy.
gardens are going to be
Absolutely.
grateful.
Yes. It sums it up, doesn't it, really? British summertime. There you go. It's Storm Antoni that's been moving its way in through this morning, bringing us some rain for many of us so far this morning. Some strong winds developing through today as well. So that was the scene just a bit earlier on in Staffordshire, but again, pretty gloomy scenes here in Oswestry. That's the Chirk Canal there, and obviously boaters there on a holiday. I imagine lots of people who might be having a break will be not too pleased about the forecast today, because this is Storm Antoni. It's been moving its way eastward. It will continue to push down into the southeast of England. The white lines here, the isobars, quite close together, and that's what's going to give us some strong winds. And we could see gusts of 50 to 70 miles an hour, particularly around the coast of southwest Wales into Devon, and that is why there's an amber warning from the Met Office. That's the second highest level of warning, because there could be some dangerous conditions, certainly disruption and some damage potentially as well. I know lots of holidaymakers, campers in that sort of the UK, part of the UK, could be particularly impacted. But with more sunshine and some lengthier dry spells, it will feel a bit warmer at least, with temperatures getting up to about 17 to 19 or even 20 degrees Celsius. On into next week then, it stays unsettled for Monday and Tuesday, some showers or longer spells of rain. Temperatures still about 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. But I know many of you have been looking at the forecast for something a little bit dry and warmer, and that will come later next week. So Wednesday, Thursday, higher pressure starts to move in. High pressure means drier, brighter, and for some of us, warmer as well. Temperatures potentially into the mid-20s.
This is so much better.
Yeah.
This is so much better than how you started.
Oh, good. End with the positive stuff. But listen, it's a brief, dry, warm spell, OK? So we're not talking about, it getting better at the end of next week and then lasting for a few more weeks. It's going to be, for a short time only. But I think,
So I was trying to bring some optimism to the room.
Sorry.
And just stamped on it. Yeah.
Sorry, I did, no. But listen, it will be positive, because it will be nicer than it's been so far.
That's all we need. OK, Simon, thanks very much. Safe journey if anyone's
Yep.
travelling as well. Thank you.